God, my...
I'm Scott, this is the Gladiator, and I'm going to tell you how to become one. In Skyrim, of course. The Gladiator, born and bred to fight, a hulk of muscle and ferocity. Spilling blood is his calling in life. The idea for this build takes inspiration from historical figures like Spartacus and slaves who fought in the pits in the arenas of Rome. The Gladiator wields 2 imperial swords and wears fur armor, hide boots and braces. The armor and weapon choices are all for the aesthetic to make him look like a bloodlust, crazed revenge killer. The fur armor makes him look poorer and in shambles, with the Gladiator's only items of value being his 2 swords. Additionally, for the aesthetic, I made him have an older complexion and scarred face, a beard for manliness and shaved head for combat so that his hair couldn't be grabbed. This is the kind of character that fights on with 7 arrows planted in his body, which is why you want to put all of your points into health. Now, the skills important for this character are of course one-handed with all the dual-wielding perks, light armor and smithing, as he often smithed his own weaponry from melted down swords and axes of his dead opponents, since he could not afford his own expensive top-notch weaponry as a slave. Additionally, smithing is absolutely necessary to boost the effectiveness of your armor and weapons, since it's all low-level equipment, though the benefit of this is that you can get all of it within the first hour of the game. He wields imperial swords as they are the style of sword he excels with in combat, due to the style of sword common in the imperial city. The ideal guilds for this character is the companions, and siding with the Stormcloaks as he has a bitter resentment for imperials, as you will soon understand through the backstory. The Gladiator was abducted as a small child into an underground slave ring that specialized in selling people used for fights, whether fist brawls or full-blown combat to the death. The Gladiator was a fine specimen and grew to be a most useful fighter. He was a Nord of large stature and had the muscle mass of a gorilla. First used as a pit dog in underground fights, he eventually was sold to a wealthy imperial banker in the imperial city who kept him as a slave under the guise of a bodyguard. The banker obviously can't keep slaves as it's illegal within the empire, therefore there is a need for making up an alias for the slaves, often keeping them financially indebted to him so that they can't escape. The man would use the Gladiator to fight in the arena and win him serious gold through bets, and the Gladiator was extremely successful within the arena. The Gladiator over time falls in love with another slave, who performed as a maid and, unfortunately and unwillingly, an escort for the banker. The Gladiator, never able to physically express his love, always looked out for her, and things continue this way until the day the banker has drunk a little too much and goes a little too far, when he pushes the maid down the stairs in an intoxicated rage, resulting in a broken neck. When the Gladiator arrives at the scene to see 2 Imperial Legion soldiers carting off her body to be hidden as the banker had paid them off, the Gladiator becomes overwhelmed with merciless bloodlust. He snaps the arm of the first, taking his sword and decapitating the other one, then begins hacking crazily at the first. Amongst the bloody mess, he uses 2 Imperial swords of the fallen soldiers and proceeds to the upper levels of the house. He arrives at the banker's room, smashes open the door, cuts the legs of the banker as he falls to the ground. The banker struggles to crawl over to his weapon, leaving a bloody trail behind him. The Gladiator stomps on his back to stop him in his tracks, reaches down, clenches his hands over his skull, and implodes it mountain style. After this event, the Gladiator flees towards Skyrim, killing those who would try and apprehend him until he is caught at the border of Skyrim. So that was the Gladiator. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm Scott from FudgeMuppet. Go check out our new Unauthorized Wisdom series. Follow me on Twitter, as I will pretty much always reply there. Follow us on Instagram, like us on Facebook, all that social stuff. Like our videos, subscribe to us, and share us around. We really appreciate it every time I get a notification that so-and-so shared this vid and so-and-so commented here and all that. It's really nice, and it's a big help, and we appreciate your continued support. See you later.